Oh, okay. I guess. I guess we're live now. So, yeah. Great. Um, it's gonna be an interesting video, to say, or not video, but stream, to say the least. So, yeah. And I decided to do stuff in the background while this is happening. Probably just be building decks. I don't think I'm gonna play Magic, because Magic is a shit show. And we're gonna be talking about embarrassing stories, particularly on girls that I liked, I guess. At some point, yes, this guy right here liked girls. I know, shocker. I know. It's obviously obvious, isn't it? So yeah, but yeah, it's just been a rough a day for me, so I kind of just want to chill out and not do much of anything. So talking about stuff and making decks is kind of my specialty at this point. And you guys like the background? The background's pretty cool, you know. I hope you guys like the background. Wanted to change it up a little bit because it's a hot take too. So like, yeah. But anyways, oh, let's actually mute the master so that way we can just hear the music. Might upgrade some decks and delete some decks, but let's just get into the main focus, I think, and that's the girls I liked. Now, this was mostly in middle school and high school, so not much of anywhere else. So most of the girls I met were pretty much in those middle school, I guess elementary school too. So like basically school. So yeah, to say that I didn't like girls would be an understatement because I actually liked girls at a very young age, and I don't know why. Most of the boys I hung out with didn't even care to like girls because they thought, oh, they're, you know, all of them look ugly. It's like, nah, it's like, I think some of these girls look a little bit good looking, you know? I won't be giving names because that would be, yes, I would expose them, so I don't really want to give names to them, so I'll just kind of just say they're the girls I met, and I won't say their names, so it'll be anonymous. So just keep that in mind. Do not try to harass these people because just don't do it. It's not cool. So let's just move on with that disclaimer and let's just get into the juicy stuff. So I guess the first one we can start off with is like I guess a crush. I don't know. It was in elementary school, and funny enough, she was I think she was in the same grade as me, also the same class. Um, I think the people I was hanging out with in elementary school were not the nicest of people, not gonna lie. They particularly liked this girl. Some of them did. Um, but I actually, was the one who kind of showed it, So they would be people like to call a bad boy because back then I kind of had a personality being bad because I hung out with bad people. So yeah, but I got away from that because they technically weren't my friends. I just wanted to be in a group what I can hang out with. So I hung out with them. I met this one girl, and she kind of had that type of mood as well, but not as bad as my friends. And I started to like her because, well, I guess honestly, because she was good looking and way out of my league. Some of my, you know, so-called friends told me. So I was like, okay, there was this one day where I was like doing, I guess we did sandcastles, even though we're supposed to be like kind of like, I don't know, a gang of people. We built fucking sandcastles, so yeah, we're so badass over here. So, we just built like sandcastles, and then I was like telling my friends, like, oh, this girl's got some sugar tits, and I said, don't tell my crush that. It's like, and then this motherfucker just said, okay, I'm gonna tell her. It's like, no, don't you fucking dare do that. Well, I didn't say the F word because didn't know what it was at the time. I'm just saying it because it really, I kind of don't like to remember that, side of me. So I get really mad if I bring it up. But what happens next is just stupid. So he goes and tells the girl I like, and I called her sugar tits. She dead ass comes over and like I remember she like went over to me and she like either hit me or she just threw sand at me. Like kicked sand basically in my eye. I think she kicked sand in my eyes. I was like, oh there and it's like why the fuck would you tell it? People's like, oh I don't know. I thought it would be funny. It's like that's why it's called The Secret. So, unfortunately, I got in trouble. Um, I think I did detention for like a day though, because it wasn't, that bad. It's not like I physically assaulted her. So I only got like detention for one day, and I was like, that was it. And I guess the other kid also didn't even get off scot-free either. He also got detention for some reason, but um, but overall, so the after story of this is I met her back in high school, and it was this one time I walked past her and she just said hi to me. It's like, oh, hello. I was like, and she was like the coolest girl ever, and she said like, oh, I think you're really cool, you know. It's like, oh, okay, why? It's like, oh, because you know you said some stuff. Because I think I brought up in that conversation. I think I brought up the thing, and I was still an awkward kid, so I didn't expect anyone to. Is like, and I said, so we're cool, right? It's like, yeah, we're cool. It's like, and we weren't really friends, but we were like, if we ran into each other, she would like, I don't know, hit me on the shoulder. It was like really cool. She was like, I don't know, this badass girl. She was kind of short though. Um, my preferences on girls I won't get into, but she was really short, so like every time she punched me, I felt like it was like um like my little brother in a way, but in a good way, because you know, she was cool to me and I was cool with her, so we both pretty much got over it and we became friends, kind of. Not really. We didn't really hang out, but when she visited me, we just hung out like that. So, yeah. So that was the first girl I had a crush on. Again, I won't be getting into any names. Let me see if the chat is. Oh, okay. No one likes me. But yeah, that was the first girl I liked. It was awkward. It was stupid that I did that, and yeah, I just never say anything about my crush again to any of my friends. So yeah. Um, I guess let's move on to the second one. The second one was I think in middle school. It didn't really. I don't know. I still liked the first girl I just talked about, but then there was the second girl. God damn it! Like I totally. Oh yeah. Okay. So there's this second girl. She usually wore a LA Dodgers cap, and we were in, I think it was a math class we were in together. Is like she usually was right next to me. So what happened next was very okay. There's like a couple of stories I had with her, but this is probably the weirdest one. Oh, I think I was also in science class with her too. Um, for some reason, and I don't know why this happened, but for some reason there was like a separate room in this classroom. It's like okay, and I got like I went in the room, but she went in the room with me, and I don't know why the fuck we went in. Oh yeah, because we were going to the other classroom. Uh, and I think we got back from something. I don't know why we were both together, but whatever. So the room was locked and it wasn't open. So I guess there was like a teacher trying to come in. It was like we were in a room together and we didn't say anything to each other. It was like we were looking at each other and oh, it was so awkward because I think she was blushing at me. I was just like in the corner of the room being a dork as oh hi oh hey you get to hear my embarrassing stories. Do tell. So like me and this girl were like both in the room and it was so awkward. And she was blushing. I wasn't blushing. I was just in the other side of the room. I was just like, nah, bruh. Um, and then finally we got back into the classroom and she was like, she was really embarrassed because we were both in the same room alone together. So it was really weird. Um, we were kind of friends for the most part. She hung out with her friends mostly though. When she got time though, there was one time um, her friends weren't there. She didn't know where they went. So she just waited for me after school and like she was still wearing the LA Dodgers hat and she was just sitting right next to me. Um she usually said stuff that she was just mostly talking about like most of these girls I hung out with just used me honestly for help. I don't know why. Whatever. I was pretty smart anyways. But yeah, I was like she was like hanging out with me. It was kind of weird though, because I did have other friends, but they weren't necessarily my friends. I just joined them because I have no one else to go with. And yeah, we didn't really talk after a while. I think she moved to a different school. But she was probably the coolest girl I ever met, besides a girl, previous girl I just talked about. But her and the other girl were pretty cool. I hung out with some pretty cool girls. Just didn't get to do a lot with them. Um, and don't take it out of context, perv. But yeah, it's like, she was cool. And, I think she was just embarrassed because I think when she saw me, she, you know, maybe thought I was attractive. I don't know. I wasn't really attractive. Let's just say that. Most of the time, I went for the girls. So yeah. Um, but whatever. I mean, we were just friends for the most part, so that's all that mattered. And we never saw each other again. So yeah, I don't even think I met her in high school. So that was the end of that. Okay, there's other girls I kind of met too. Oh yes, okay. Let's get into that. That was middle school. High school is when I really started liking girls. Oh, like in high school, okay. There was like a lot. Okay, I gotta go over this though. Okay, so there was a girl in my art class. Oh god, and this was probably the most cringiest one, but we sat together and uh, it was me and my friend, a robotic waffle, I'll just call him. He's the guy who actually got me into Geometry Dash. Um, sitting next to Catherine. It was so cringy. Okay, this one time, it was only this one time. And this is my first. Okay, I'm just gonna tell the story. It's so embarrassing, and I don't know if I like to tell. Oh my gosh. Okay, so anyways, so we were in our class. I had a, or was it she? It was either me or she. I had a like a granola bar. Okay, it was like, oh, it was probably her. It's like, oh, do you want to share this granola bar? It's like, sure. It's like this anime trope thing. I'm not lying, guys. This actually happened. So like, she took a bite out of the bar, and I didn't actually notice because I thought, because we were sharing, right? I thought she would just take the fucking like piece of it with her hand. So then I just assumed like I just took a bite out of it because she didn't want any more. So I took a bite out of it, and I noticed that there's like it wasn't like I didn't notice it at first. It was like a little bit of saliva. I was like, oh no. And she got the same vibe as like, I was like, hold up, did you just eat that? It's like, yeah. It's like, I just ate that. It's like, and we were like both embarrassed. And then we finally like noticed, so we like, we looked at each other, it's like, we were so embarrassed. We didn't say anything though. We just kept it quiet. I was the most embarrassed. I was like, oh, I drank water after that. I was like, bro, get this taste out of my mouth. I don't want to even taste it. So that's like my first indirect kiss. I didn't actually. Uh, and yes, guys, I'm a virgin. Yes, make fun of me, roast me all you want. But yes, it was my first indirect kiss, and it was definitely a weird one. Um, Fortunately, she moved. We never talked to each other. My friend offered me to give her Instagram, but he actually kind of declined it because she actually said not for him to know what the Instagram was. So I guess she was kind of weirded out of the stuff I did. I was a really weird kid, okay? I did some really weird things. I wasn't good at communication. So every time I said something, it was weird and stuff. So, but God, was that so embarrassing. That was like the cringiest moment I ever had. She didn't like me playing Geometry Dash though. That's like one thing she kind of liked about me is like when I was playing Geometry Dash. Oh, oh goody. So yeah, it's like interesting. Let's talk about some more. Okay, there's another one. It's actually in photography, and she was kind of cute, and she kind of liked me too. We talked a lot together. To be fair, I was I was the TA of the class, so yeah. um, but I liked her, even though she was again she was short. Um, I have preferences to girls, but I kind of don't want to get into it. But I liked her because she was kind of interesting in the way she took photos. And she always asked me for help because I was TA, I was the teacher's assistant, what they called it. And I was like, this girl's pretty good. And then I had to judge the photos. I was not trying to be biased, but honestly, I was only biased on some, but I think it was the Photoshop job. She did a really good job on the Photoshop ones. I had to help her because she asked, like, me, hey, can you help me with this? Like, goody. It's like, uh, me helping people too in that classroom was so bad. And this is on top of the fact um, I was still taking speech and other things, yes, because I was mentally handicapped, what they call it, in, I don't know, school. I was in RSP classes because I have a disorder. So, yeah. And I liked her. And okay, then it was Valentine's Day. And, oh my God, I was so embarrassed. So, um, I basically got Valentine's, of course, for her. And I suck at Valentine's. I really do. I really suck at them. I don't know why. I suck at Valentine's. So what I did is I like, oh yeah, it's Valentine's. Yay. It's like, Oh, really? Thank you. And she just said thank you. She didn't think much of it. I thought she was gonna say, "Oh, you like me? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't accept this." But no, she was cool with it. She like thanked me and she ate the chocolates actually and thought of it as a gesture. No, unfortunately, I didn't really get to meet her after that because I think she moved to classes, but I never got to see her, so we never talked after that. So yeah. But she was a nice she was a nice friend. I hate to say the F word, friend. I try not to say that with girls because um it just okay, let's just get into this discussion for this sake, okay? Saying you're a friend to a girl like saying, "Oh, come here, friend." It's like you're friend zoning them, and you shouldn't do that. And here's why. If you're in a relation, if you know you're friends with like a girl, or let's just be 2020 about this with anyone, boy or girl, you shouldn't say friend. You should actually just say their name or what they're comfortable with you, like your nickname or something like that. You know, it doesn't give it. Now, granted, you could say friend if they're okay with it, but in some cases, like with girls, if you, especially if you like them, don't say friend. Just don't. If you're gonna say like anything, then like say like their name or their nickname or something. Never say friend. I've learned that saying that makes the relationship go away. So just be careful if you say it to a girl that you like or they may like you, you know. You have to guess what they're feeling and then you can admit your love to them, you know. It's all about guessing. It used to just be you can ask out a girl and they either say yes or no, and usually they say yes, especially in the olden days. But I'm not a boomer, so I wouldn't know too much about that. But I do know, because I've been rejected a lot, I do know that saying friend to the person you like is not necessarily good, and saying I love you to the friend that you like is also not good. So you kind of have to go in between and just call them by their name, you know, or their nickname. Senpai. But yeah, I've learned that a lot. And let's actually talk about a girl I actually made progress with. So there was this girl, and oh man, she was so attractive. And I thought she was way out of my league. But she was kind of shy, but she kind of had her own friend group. And oh boy, the cringiest part of it was that I actually continued this relationship. It was like the most progress I ever made on a relationship. Besides one I kind of don't like to talk about because it's personal to me. I guess I'll get into it. That'll be the last one. But um, yeah, her she was kind of a special girl to me that I had put on a pedestal, and you know we were both smart. We both like we were in history, and we always got A pluses. Like we were like basically the two that were like the smartest kids in class because they were all RSP classes, and um, not to say that they were, you know, the other students in the classroom were dumb. It's just we always were A plus plus, you know. So I liked her, and I actually asked her to homecoming, which was a big step for me. It's like, oh crap, I'm gonna ask her to home. So I asked her to homecoming, and I expected her to say no because, like, I asked my friends, who said, "Oh, she's way out of your league. It would be hard. She's probably gonna say no." And actually, she said yes. And I was like, oh, really? And I kind of said this in history class. And oh man, I did not expect it. And she said yes. And so I had to get ready and prepared for everything. And we went on a date with her friends, of course. Here's the problem, though. They were all girls, and there was no guy in the group, just me. So it's like I was rocking my own harem. Oh boy. So you can see how I felt that day, and I was really nervous. By the way, her mom was really nice. Her dad, on the other hand, hated my fucking guts. I mean, literally. I think her dad walked into class. I said hi to her dad, and he just gave me the most grimmest look, and he said, "Oh, hi." Like, really? And then he turned back and he was talking to someone else. Like, oh, it was just like I knew the dad didn't like me. And that's, I guess, for every dad that has a daughter. You know, you kind of have to make sure the dad likes you before the that you can. The dad just hated me. The mom was really nice though. I really liked the mom. Um, so I went on probably, and I had like pictures taken of me with all these girls. Like I like how my mom and dad were like, "Oh look, you have all these girls, and you're such a player." It's like, no, I was like I was sweating bullets and sweating my ass off. Like this was not comfortable for me. Oh, and then after that, we went on the worst restaurant we can ever go to. Granted, I still like the food, but man, was the service bad. Also, I had to sit right next to my date, so yeah, also weird. But I liked her, so I kind of tried to keep cool. I put on a lot of deodorant. I made my hair really nice, but I felt this sudden urge that I felt like I still stinked. Because I feel like I'm like a really stinky person. I don't know if it's from work or whatever, but man, do I stink sometimes. Literally and metaphorically, but yeah, I was like, oh, I was so nervous. I think I was sweating so much that I just stunk. So we did all of that. We had I had really good like fettuccine alfredo. Now, granted, that's probably a food you probably shouldn't have on a date, but I decided, hey, you know what? I'm gonna have it on a date, you know. So it's like, ugh, man, it was just so bad though, the food. So after we had the Olive Garden, we finally went to the dance, and this is we didn't actually hold hands because she suggested not to. We both kind of took the lead. Oh, you want to play a day? Oh, okay. Yeah, now we can still talk. That's cool. All right. What is this? Okay, we'll play maybe historic. So I'll show off my deck. Actually, I want to do sagas really back. So like, man, we were just like, okay, and it was the dance, and it was just a party thing, so we were just dancing all on our own. She went with her friends, which I kind of found degrading to me, and she didn't want to like dance with me. She would rather dance with my friends. I did meet my other friends there too, well, so-called friends, but anyways, she met with them, so I was like, okay, you know what, it's fine. She can do her own thing, so I was like, okay, it's fine. And like no cap, no cap. We was a slow dance, and then so I suggested, hey, can I slow dance? Can I have this dance? I was like, she's like, sure. I was like, I finally got to hold girl's hip, hand, and shoulder. I was like really uncomfortable, kind of uncomfortable. Not that because I knew it was coming, but it's still really uncomfortable. So like, yeah, I was like not really the best thing for me. Oh, what does that have? Oh, hell yeah, I get to steal it and do this. And I get to sing with it. Cool. So yeah, it was like not the best for me, but it's still pretty interesting. Um, yeah, it was my first time I actually held a girl's hand, shoulder, hip, everything. It was, and I thought it was a dream come true. So I mean, I didn't think much of it. So oh, you're playing a historic deck, lucky. Alright. So, yeah, it was like not bothered by it. So honestly, I didn't think much of it at that point. And when I say that, I actually, didn't think much of it. So for the most part, we still got to know each other. We still got along quite well, in fact. But it's just some of the things, it was just kind of weird. But I did like her a lot, so that was just something good to know and good to find out. And it was, a new experience, so I actually kind of liked it, for the most part. And yeah, it was still really fun to hang out with her. And I regard her as like one of my best girls I actually went out with. So yeah, um, I have no regrets on that too. It was really nice to hang out with her, and everything was fun. Oh, you're playing. Maybe I don't know. I don't know if you're actually playing Neoform. Let me guess. So yeah, we still hung out though, just not as friends. I kind of got awkward to her because I hung out with her somewhat. I felt like that was kind of weird, but you know, all in good fun and stuff. And I had a good time, so he it wasn't actually that bad, you know. Nothing bad came out of it. And she laughed. She even laughed in my math class because she was also in my math class. And when I told a joke, she laughed. I loved her laugh too. It was so amazing. But yeah, that's like the best girl I ever hung out with. Besides the one we'll be getting into last. So yeah, that was my homecoming partner. Okay, I think this is the last one for high school. I'm not too sure. I could bring up other things though. Oh, did you leave? Oh no, you didn't rage quit. I saw one and two. I was like, oh, did you? I'm sorry. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, like homecoming, something. Okay, so then I like this other girl because I didn't like the homecoming chick for a while, but I like this other girl. She was in my PE class, and oh man, I was a weirdo. So this is gonna get super embarrassing. So there was this one girl. She was kind of the same height, but not really. I don't know. But she also ran a club. She was like a president of a club, and I thought this girl was attractive. Um, and I got to hang out with her, and we did a couple of stuff in PE together. And I swear to God, this is when simping wasn't a thing. So thank God I did this beforehand. Okay, so this PE teacher said like, because I was like the fastest kid in my class, like when it comes to running laps, and so like, oh, I bet you can't beat, you know, freaking Oko looking ass. You bet you can't beat him. It was like, and it's like you're on. It's like, all right, I guess that's a challenge then. So then we ran. It was only like a half mile though. We only did a half mile. So I ran. I actually tried the first half, and I was like, I wanted to lax myself for the second half because I actually wanted to tie with her. And I messed up because I almost tripped. But I think I tied with her, but my PE teacher said, "Oh, you did that on purpose because you wanted to press the girl." And and it, and he knew that I kind of liked her. So it was like it was so embarrassing for me. And luckily she was kind of clueless at the point. I wouldn't say clueless, but she didn't really mind it because maybe it was kind of like a joke to her. So it was like, yeah, it was like, and I really liked her. Oh, okay. And I have to say something about this. So we hung out one time near the parking lot things, and she's like talking deep to me, and I thought she liked me, So I just went for it. I said, okay, this is so embarrassing. I said the three words. You shouldn't say if you don't know that they like you. I said I love you, and then she like ignored it, and her parents were there actually at that good time, and she left and she didn't say anything at that point. Now I thought my relationship with her was over, but um she took it a very weird way. Um, she kind of forgot about the moment, and we were still friends, and she just didn't acknowledge it. But we were still friends. She said hi to me, and was like, she's like she totally forgot about it. And I didn't say anything either because I didn't want to bring it up to her. But she kind of forgot about the whole point of the thing, and and we were still friends. And I kind of liked that about her that she didn't take anything that was going to rent space in her head for granted. She kind of ignored it and put it to the side, which, yeah, I kind of look up to that. And I feel like that's admirable for a girl to actually ignore some of the bad things that happen or some of the embarrassing things that happen and kind of just get past it. And she did that really well. Fortunately, I didn't do that well because I was a weirdo. And so, yeah, I never really got over that, and it still embarrasses me to this day. Can't believe I said those three words. Never say those three words. If you know they like you, then yes, you can say it. Still be careful though. Probably don't say it in public. It wasn't a public place. There was barely anyone around though, so no one really noticed. But still, just make sure they like you before you say that. Um, and yeah, it's basically things about that and stuff and things. Now I can get into the other girls I liked. Like I liked this. It wasn't really but I liked this girl in English class, and she was a nice looking person. She was quite tall. But I found out she actually had a boyfriend, so I was like, nah. I was like, I liked her for a little bit, and I was like, she's kind of too good for me anyways, so I kind of just let it pass. Oh, and I should talk. Okay, this is the last one. Seriously. And she already has a boyfriend, so I kind of won't say too much of the embarrassing. But I actually kind of thought she liked me, and I don't know what I got from this, but it's like every day she would like pick on me. It's like, hey, she'd call me Quail, or she'd call me like Quince or whatever. And she was like a okay, she was like a tsundere, no cap. She was like a tsundere because every time I tried to help her, she would like poke me in the head or bonk me on the head or something, or like tell me. Okay, so this is the one thing she did. She's like, "Oh, come to my locker." I was like, "I'm talking to a friend here. Can you give me a minute?" It's like, "No, come to me with my locker now." It's like, "Oh, fine," because you're gonna do something to me probably. So I came to her locker and we had like a little conversation. I was like, and I said, "So why did you want me to come to your locker?" It's like, "Oh, I just needed company." It's like, "Oh, really?" It's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh," and I felt like I missed an opportunity there because I felt like she was telling me something, and I just didn't get it. But I think she liked me, and I just never said those words, you know, because I never actually thought of her as like I didn't actually like her back, but I was considering it because she was actually a really good looking woman and she was in um like the swim team. So she was like really good looking and I'm glad that she's happy with another guy. So probably way better than me, so. And she was the tan girl, so, um, but she was interesting, and I felt like she kind of liked me. Kind of got those messages because she kind of had that scene. Oh, and then this one time she wanted me to go to her car, and I went in her car. We were talking about stuff, and it was like, it's just so weird. And then she kicked me out of the car and she said, "Oh, go back to your car." I was like, "Oh, okay." It's like, ah. But she's still, she's really cute with the interactions and stuff. She was like a tsundere, but not a really like bad one, like where she would like bully you or something. No, she was like she would just tease you. She kind of teased me. Um, so yeah, but she, really just really good looking woman. Um, you know, and yes, I'm saying that, and people are gonna think, oh, you're perf for saying that. Oh wow, it went. I was inactive for a while. My computer just went off. But here I am. I'm just trying to fix my decks. Yay! I'm fixing my decks right here. So yeah, just another thing, and then I guess we'll get into the last one, cause the other ones I didn't really like that much. So yeah, cause I think that's all the girls I liked pretty much. Yeah, I can't really think of any other ones that I had a liking to. So this one's probably the most current one and the most embarrassing one. Um, but that's because we've known each other pretty much and like but let me talk about this first. So there's a program for people that have autism. So I have autism, of course, and we were in the same program. So um I met this girl only through a program, and I was in like a special school for like people with autism, I guess. And I was with her as well. And we were kind of friends at one point because of my mom, and her mom. But we actually hit it off quite well in kindergarten because we became friends and we hung out most of the time. At least that's far to my knowledge. Um, but yeah, we hung out for a while, and I guess I could say it now. I really don't want to say her nickname because she's my childhood friend basically. Okay, I shouldn't say friend, but I known her since childhood. She is my, I guess, yes, I can say she's my childhood friend, but I don't. It was like with us, it was really complicated because okay, she was also the same as me. She has autism as well, so we both have autism. Autism and romance are really weird, but I like that kind of weird because she was kind of, different in the girls I met. And she also looked really, really nice. But we hung out in kindergarten and we also hung out in church. And I think she knows that I like her. And she kind of has. This is so embarrassing. I think she knows she kind of likes me, but we both don't know it yet. I don't know how to explain it. It's so weird how this relationship came to be, but I gave her some Valentines. I even asked her to like dates and stuff and proms and all this other stuff. And to this day, we are still in touch. Not gonna lie. And she's probably my only friend I have currently right now. I don't have any other friends. And I'm not lying when I say I have no friends. I have no friends. She's probably my only friend I have. And that has to do with trust. I really trust her. Um, and I'm still in touch with her, and she's amazing, and we still talk. Um, she's just an amazing girl because of all the things she's shown me and all the things we've done together. I guess we could talk about the embarrassing stories. Um, I don't. I think for her sake and out of her respect, though, I really don't want to talk about them because that's a personal to us, and I think it'd be not wise to share it, but just to share in the fact that, you know, she's probably, you know, one of my great, like, one of the most interesting people I've ever met, in terms of relationships and stuff. I would love to like go out with this girl like more often. It's just, it's hard for me, honestly. So for me, I'm just really weird in society. Cause I don't know, like at parties too. So, that's kind of me. I don't want to like talk about her faults because it'd be kind of rude to do that. Um, you know, I just, I'm just here to say I just really like her, you know, and I still to this day. Um, but that doesn't mean we're going out. We've been back and forth with this, I think, and she's trying some stuff. I am. We're both people. We're both individuals. We need to try things. She did as well, and I did as well. We both did the same thing. We tried with other guys too. So, you know, but I still like her to this day, and I don't know. Every time I like think about her, I don't know. I just blush a little bit. I don't know. She's just a really nice girl. Um, and man, like people were telling me, like oh, her parents, if anything happens to this girl, it's like you're in trouble. It's like, yeah, I try to not let her get into trouble. And there was this one time I kind of did a heroic thing, if I would. So this was at camp, and I loved camp too. I wish we could do it more. But there were some guys crowding her, and I was doing something, I think, with my friends. So, at camp, I basically stepped in and I said, and this kind of made me nervous too, but I had to do it because she was getting crowded with a bunch of guys. Imagine that, right? Dicks. And so I was like, they were trying to talk to her. It was like, and I just stepped in as like, okay, she's with me, you know, and she found that quite charming. Um, and I would definitely protect her if whatever happens. I don't want her anything to happen to her, so I just do that. And oh my gosh, it's making me feel all weird inside talking about this stuff. It's supposed to be embarrassing. It's an embarrassing stream, so yeah. But yeah, I think camp was like where I got to know her the most, and she's just a really interesting girl. And I don't ever want to lose contact with her. And I'm kind of at this stage of regardless. I kind of want it to be more though, but I always say it's just up to her. Um, but regardless, I don't want to lose this relationship. I think it's great that we have this. It's a bummer we can't hang out more, but I'm okay with, you know, just the thing she's got going right now for me. Um, we, and still communicate. We talk on the phone, so that's something. And she likes talking to me, and I think we both know that I like her, so and she doesn't mind it. So we're totally cool on that, and I think she kind of likes me, but we just don't. We both understand that we kind of have to just be patient. Um, but I'm not gonna say the G word. We're not girlfriend and boyfriend just yet, but it's just an interest. It's just an interest. And we may have had our fallouts, but they weren't bad. It was just, I don't know if I want to say this because that's also something personal that happened at camp. All I can say is I got mad. She was crying. I just got mad, but I don't want to talk about that either. So I don't want to talk about all the personal stuff we did together, but we did stuff together that was kind of intimate and kind of that personal, feely kind of thing. But yeah, I won't talk about much of that because I don't want to, um, break that bond of whatever that is, that mushy stuff. And yeah, oh, I didn't actually build the deck because I was too busy talking about. Well, I don't even know what I would build. So like, I guess I can improve in this. So, but yeah, that's all the girls I uh liked and I'm currently liking. And I currently like this girl, the last girl I just talked about. I'm currently liking this girl. And it's not fair to say we're girlfriend and boyfriend, but it is fair to say that we are in a healthy relationship, to say the least. So, yeah, it's just that. I mean, what else can I say? But oh boy, man, she's just great. She's just absolutely great. I can't say that enough. So, yeah, that's all I can say about that. Oh my god. Okay, and then all of this just like came full circle. It's like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. So now you know those embarrassing stories of all the girls I liked. Some I went to homecoming with. Some I had some weird encounters, like a indirect kiss. It wasn't even a kiss. It was just like she had her saliva on her freaking granola bar, and the girl I currently like. So yeah, that's me, the weirdo. And I like being weird. Now I kind of got this from a video I watched. Like, I like being weird. Being normal is kind of just overrated. Like, sometimes to be your true self, you gotta be your weird self. And people always miss that, especially in society. Like, people act, and of course you gotta act civil. Like, you can't be chaotic and, do evil things in society. But just be yourself, you know? It's okay to be yourself. People might judge you, but just don't listen to those judgments. If you want to go in the store 2 times like I did before, do it. Don't let anyone judge you. Because I'd done that before. I was like, oh, I forgot to get something. I just went in the store again. went to, uh, and I think I went to the same person too to get the cashier to buy the grocery. So it's like, there's nothing wrong with that. Just be yourself, you know? Don't make it weird. You just be weird. Don't make anything else weird. But you can be weird. You know? Good advice from a weirdo. But yeah, it's like Nothing wrong with that. Maybe there is. Maybe there is. But that's all the advice I have for that. Well, I guess I can talk about some other stuff, I guess. I don't know what else I would talk about, but I don't know, for the most part, just be yourself. Or be like me. And yeah, I think it's a good time to end the stream because, oh boy. I already got tired of this and junk, so I don't know what I'm gonna do Monday, but Monday, yes, we'll go back to Mun Games and we'll try to finish Everhood. Maybe we'll do Def Jam again, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna do Everhood. I really want to finish the game. It's an interesting game, so I really want to see the ending. I think we're close, so I'll have the schedule up pretty soon. No, hopefully by tomorrow, maybe Tuesday. We'll see. But yeah, I'm just busy, guys. Come on. It's hard for me to make an intro, and it's hard for me to connect my goddamn Steam Labs and do custom things because I'm like busy. I work, and it's hard for me to do this. So sorry if I'm not as active as I should be. But give me a break. And yes, that's me closing my eyes, not doing the twitchy thing. So yeah. Anyways, guys, I am tired, and I'm also emotionally exhausted from that because of how embarrassed I got from telling all those stories. So, and I will say this one thing: the reason why I couldn't stream Friday is because of I don't know if I should even say this. But you know what? It's not even her fault. I actually wanted to talk to her for a long time, and we did. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day or night. I'll see you guys in the next video or stream. Bye. In peace. I'm closing my eyes. I'm going to try to end the stream by closing my eyes. Can I do it? I can do it.